Welcome to the Keep Going Soulful Podcast. This podcast is all about everyday topics that help you discover a new path to planning intentional self-care through self-love. This podcast is best listened to when we leave judgments at the door, listen, and reflect. Everything in this podcast is a general statement and should be interpreted as such. These statements within this podcast may not apply to certain situations or everyone. There are exceptions to everything, and we must not judge or pressure each other as we are on our own journey. I'm Janie from A Soulful Teacher. I am a self-care and self-love coach, holy fire Reiki healer, meditation coach, social worker, and teacher. I help others create a life of self-care through mindfulness and organizational practices. Welcome to Keep Going Soulful. I'm Janie, your host and your self-love coach, here to help you discover a new path to planning intentional self-care through self-love. And the title of this episode is It's Time for You to Make Plans for Self-Care. I know I said that kind of weird, but I want you to really reflect on those words. It's time for you to make plans for self-love. So, you ready? Are you ready? You better be ready. Just kidding. You don't have to be ready. But I want you to listen through my stories and my experiences. Hopefully that will help you if you're still kind of thinking about things, if you're reflecting on your year. Hopefully that will help you a little bit. I'm a little bit more informal today. I'm in my PJs. I just, these things, podcasts, because they're so personal to me, I just wanted to be in my PJs, I guess. I don't know. It just feels comfortable. It feels comfortable. So, all right. So let's talk about, I got my little outline. So let's go through it. Okay. So 2021 challenges and blessings. Obviously, it's no secret that I've been through a lot in 2021. I've, had a kind of like a transformative year where I learned about meditation a little bit more, like more in depth. And I received my self-love coaching certification and Holy Fire Reiki certification, level 1 and 2. And those were blessings that led to a transformation that I desperately needed, because I was living in this cloud. And through that work, through that shadow work, the shadow work is looking at, if you want to think about Star Wars, your dark side, and really looking at what am I still carrying that's holding me down? What is, making me sad? What is making me have a lot of anxiety? And, I've been open about my mental health journey. I started cerebral and I got diagnosed. You can go listen to the podcast from last month, I believe, or the month before, where I talk about that. And I feel much better. I started therapy, and, coaching is a blessing and therapy is a blessing. And all of these tools that I've had have just made me grow even more. And I got to tell you, I feel so much better. Now, is my tools and, my experience is the same things as yours? No, everybody's going to be different, which tools are going to help them the most. But for me, the meditation, the Reiki, prayer, just having honest conversations with myself have really been transformative. And, my relationships around me have improved because I'm communicating better and I am feeling better. And I have a really good support system that I had pushed away. And now I'm bringing it back in. So it's something that I'm very happy about, that we got to this point. And I mean, obviously me, but you might be going through the same things as I am. And we all just need that support system and that self-love to know that we are of value. And I'm going to let you know right now that you're of value. And going forward in our 2022 intentions, notice I say intentions, not goals. I'm trying to change my language about goals because I don't know. Something about the word intention. It's just it's powerful. I feel personally. Now, to you, it might be different. You might think the word goal is very powerful for you, and that's totally fine. I'm just speaking for myself. I love the word intention because it gives me power. It's like, I intend to do this. I know I can do this. And for 2022, man, I have so much planned, so much intended, so much growth to do. And I can't wait to share all that with you. Obviously, A Soulful Teacher will keep going, hopefully, um, with more activities for you, more, more about myself and sharing my journey with you. And I felt like in the past, I hadn't been really showing that, especially my planning process and how I use planning for myself. And those are the things that I intend to do in 2022. Plus, I intend to incorporate more meditation, more Peloton. Look, y'all know, I just, Peloton, I love it. I love the Peloton. The problem is I don't like exercise. And so for me, it's like, gosh, really. But I know I have to do it, right? That's something that I have to do. So I have intended and I've committed to at least twice a week getting on the Peloton and having some fun. We have a TV in the room so I can watch some YouTube video, 10-minute, boom, done, call it a day. I can listen to, I like Alex. He pumped me up. I love Robin. I love Cody. And there's one more that I cannot think of right now, but I love the instructors are really pumped up. They make me feel encouraged, I guess. But the act of, I'm lazy. I can do it another day. That's what I'm battling with right now in terms of exercise. So for me, in the physical arena, I need to work on that. And everything else is something that I've been working on for a long time, like meditation, Reiki, things like that. Also my spirituality, things that really are passion of mine. I also want to start reading more, and I have my first book. And if you follow me on which one? Instagram, I'm going to share and on Facebook, I think, and Twitter. And apparently I have a Tumblr. And so I'm kind of sending stuff from Instagram to Tumblr. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I did it and there it is. So if you still have a Tumblr from like 1999, I don't even know if they were then alive then, or I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. There's that for you as well. So, I just want to do things that are not so much pressure. Like, I don't feel pressure to read. I just want to read. That passion came back to me. Like, I used to read all the time when I was younger. And by younger, I'm in my 20s. And, now I'm in my 40s and I haven't read a full book in a long time, other than like a spirituality book. Those I have read, but fun books, those are fun. And I can't wait to share my new book, my first book that I'm going to read. And I'm not going to tell myself, a book a month, because that for me, that's not realistic right now. For you, it might be. For me, it's like, that's too much commitment. And that's a classic Gemini, I'm not trying to commit to once a month. I want to commit to when I find the right book. And so that's what I'm committing to, when I find the right book. And I think I found the greatest book. And I think you probably kind of know, if you know my personality already, you probably know what route I'm going on with the book. And it's not spirituality at all, but could it be? Something to think about. So when we think about the path to self-love, which is our next, little block, I want you to think about, what does that look like for you? Not for me. No, don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to, Joe over there, or Sally, or whoever. Don't do that. Think about what it looks like for you, because it's going to look different for everybody. What does self-love even mean to you? So these are the things that I need you to really think about this year. It doesn't have to be done in one day. You have 365 days. By the time this airs, you'll have less, but still, you'll have, even beyond this 2022, you'll have a lifetime to figure out, what does self-love, what does that mean to you? What does it look like in your life? And I'm here to help you with that, to give you ideas with it. And the first thing that I really want to hone in on is this notion that planning and self-care and self-love starts with you. So when we think about the path to self-love, to self-care, to planning, it all is going to start with you. Everything starts in here. So whatever you're feeling here, sometimes it manifests, presents itself as whatever is going on in here. Like, for example, for me, I wasn't planning that much for a while. I wasn't having a direction. So everything felt chaotic to me. Okay. I can only speak for me. Okay. So for example, if you want to say, work on your own business, like I am, but you are comparing yourself to other people. Well, that person has this, that person has this. Then you're missing out on who you are. You're missing out on your own talents because you keep comparing yourself. Once you let that go, the comparison, the FOMO, the self-doubt, things get a little bit better. And here's the thing. If you're like me, you're working through it, because from a child, you learn these patterns, and from incidences in your life, you learn these patterns of self-doubt and fear and all that stuff. That's going to live with you sometimes. It's going to live with you. And so for some people, it's going to live with them for the rest of their lives, because we're human. We're human. At the end of the day, here's what I'm going to tell you. You can coexist with these things. Trust me, it can happen. When you have a thought, for example, for myself, recently I've had a thought of, I'm not going to be successful. And I think to myself, no, you have been successful before. You can do this again. You can go again. You can start over. You can do these things. You've done it before. You can do it again. And so for me, I have to rewire my brain with my thoughts. And so that's why I really want you to be considerate of your thoughts. It's not going to go away overnight. It's just not. We can't Amazon Prime it. We got to standard ship in it. Or however long it takes. Okay. Maybe it gets lost in UPS or something. Uh, but do you understand what I'm saying? I just want you to understand that it starts with you. And the more you practice the mind shift, the more easier it gets. Doesn't mean that everything's going to go away and you're going to live this happily ever after life and you're going to live in Zen all the time. No, we're human. We have things that happen. We have emotions. We have things that we have to heal for a lifetime. And we have to just live with it in a respectful manner. So, for example, I have some trauma in my life, as you know, and I know it's going to live back here, right? But it's not going to overwhelm me. I'm going to honor it by saying, okay, this happened. I've grieved. I have gotten angry. I've gone through the whole process of, coping and grieving this trauma that I went through. Now I'm ready to put it over here and live my life in the present, not back here. I'm going to honor it, right? I'm going to learn from it if I can. Sometimes, that's another story. But I'm going to honor it over here, but I'm going to live over here now. I'm going to live in the present and I'm going to go forward. And I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do the things that are meant for me because I deserve it. My trauma does not define me. It makes me stronger. Do I wish I hadn't gone through it? Of course. But I have to do a mind shift, because if I don't, it's going to swallow me whole. And I don't want that. And I want to honor it. And I want to honor myself. And by honor it, I mean, like, I'm going to acknowledge that it happened. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm going to do with it. And I'm going to, and if I feel pain, if I feel sadness about it, that's okay. I'm human. So, but making that decision, that conscious decision to move forward from it. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense, because I don't want to live, for me personally, I don't want to live in a cloud anymore. Okay. I don't want to have this trauma, my, health issues take over. I want to take control of certain parts of my life. Some things I just can't control, like the weather or, things that happen at work. I can't control that. I can only control me. And so once we realize that, yes, these bad things can happen, but I am prepared with my toolbox. And once you have your own toolbox, you're going to feel so empowered. Now, your toolbox can come from anywhere. It can come from me. It can come from someone else, like an influencer, or like a coach, or your psychiatrist, or your therapist, or even your friends, your family. But the thing is, you have to understand, once you get these tools, you're not going to use them exactly like they do. You're going to use them how they fit you the best. And that's where the power comes in. The power of being who you are, who you're meant to be. And that's just the greatest feeling. So it's important to use planning as your vessel to self-love and self-care, because planning offers us this timeline, right? We see it. We can kind of see the chunks of time that we have left for us, right? And it's up to us. This is why the inside work is so important. The self-love work here is so important, because once you feel it here, you understand your boundaries, you understand what you need here. That planning process, no matter what system you're using, is going to help you, live the life that you really want for yourself, realistically. Okay. And sometimes it takes time, obviously, right? But at the end of the day, you're living the life that you want for yourself, or you're designing that life that you want for yourself. You're working in here, inside your heart, your soul, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And your self-awareness, your self-esteem is going to bloom because you're working on yourself. You're making those mind shifts, and you're really taking accountability for yourself and what you do, what you think, etc. And you're adding things into your plans. You're adding things that are fun. You're taking away stuff that you're just like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And that's okay. I think a lot of times with planning, we think we need to do something just because we've done it so many times. You don't have to. It's your life. Once we realize that mind shift again, that you are in control of your life and no one else, that's when, things shift in our lives. Now you decide where that shift is going to go. Okay. You decide how are you going to use the inside here, your heart. How are you going to use that to live the life you want? And, I'm here to help you. I'm a self-love coach. And I'm also working on a couple of certifications. Go check those up on my about page or on my highlights on Instagram. But I'm here to help you, to guide you, and I'd be honored for you to come, book a session with me, and I'll help you through the inside work. I also am going to share so many things on Instagram, Facebook, etc. And that is only a general activity and we'll go deeper in it in coaching. But if you're not ready for coaching, you're not ready for that, I definitely have lots of stuff coming to Instagram, lots of stuff coming to A Soulful Teacher, especially the post for today. It's called It's Time for You to Make Plans for Self-Love. It's the same title as this podcast. I'm going to share a little bit of my method that I am using with my coaching clients. It's the A Soulful Teacher manifesting method. And I can't wait to share a little bit of that with you. And I am super honored to share all this stuff with you. I mean, I think this 2022, oh, I just feel so good about it. I feel like right here. And I feel good about it because of all the work I have done in 2021. And I know 2021 has been a mess sometimes, a mess. But my goodness, so many good things have come out of it. And I'm so blessed to be here with you, to share these tools with you. And I just can't wait to see what life brings. And, so that was a lot, I know. But I hope you take something with you. And if anything I've mentioned in this podcast has resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment on this podcast or video. If you're watching on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, visit asoulfulteacher.com. And I just wish you the most beautiful year ever. And remember, after this podcast, go check the podcast blog post as well. And that will help you so much with, the method that I'm talking about and everything like that. I just, like, there's no words. I'm just so super excited to share this work with you, this love for this work with you as well. So go check out the blog post. And again, share this, love this, send it to anybody, subscribe, all that goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I appreciate your time and I appreciate who you are. And I can't wait to learn from you. Also, send me stuff, like send me like a DM, send me like a comment. Tell me what you learned about yourself. Tell me what helps you. I love to hear from other people. I love to learn from other people. I always give credit to anybody. So please share with me. I'm here for you. I'm here for it and I'm here for you. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Happy New Year. Take care. The A Soulful Teacher blog has a new post ready for you to explore more about this topic. Visit asoulfulteacher.com/blog. Thank you for listening to this latest episode of Keep Going Soulful. Take care.